Hey there, Rivermen fans. Welcome back to another edition of Trudel's Take, presented by Health Alliance. Welcome back to another edition of Trudel's Take, presented by Health Alliance. I'm Jason Ruff, joined once again, and as always, by Rivermen head coach Jean-Guy Trudel. Well, Guy, the Rivermen were scheduled to play one game. They ended up playing two on the road in Quad City, and yet this Rivermen team continues to roll against their rivals to the west. Good first periods, good goaltending, good overall team effort. What did we learn about this team on the road in Quad?
A lot of character. That's not easy. It was a difficult situation, I think, for everybody. And as a team, it's never easy because we planned everything over the last month to get a one game weekend on Sunday and have enough days off for the guys to recover. And we changed our plan, and the boys went there. I was a little nervous the first game. I won't lie to you, as a coach, changing everything. The last minute kind of is a little worrisome, but the boys came out hard. I thought we had a phenomenal first period. And when we start on time, we're usually a pretty good team. And, you know, I think the stats don't lie. When we score first, I don't know exactly, but I know we're doing pretty darn well.
Undefeated. Only one overtime loss when the Rivermen have scored first. Everyone else, straight wins.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, so you know that type of team. I feel like second and third periods are usually our best period. So if we start on time and have a good first period, we're usually pretty good the rest of the way.
And hockey players, as we've talked about a lot over the last couple of years, are creatures of habit. When you change up something, that can really potentially throw players in a spin. But like you said, this group really responded to it. Is that more just the individual characters, or is that leadership? What is that?
Yeah, leadership. I'm lucky. I'm sure a lot of coaches in our league would love to have what I'm fortunate to have player-wise and leadership-wise on this team. So for us, it was difficult, but once we got there, when we got off the bus, we always say every home's our home. So we got there, we felt at home right away, and we've been there enough this year that we know exactly every nook and cranny about that rink.
Pretty much.
We got there with a great attitude, and we did what we had to. And it all starts off, I think Eric made two big saves at the beginning of the game there where we had two breakdowns, and he did a great job there. And then after that, the guys had a lot of confidence the rest of the way.
Let's talk about goaltending. Eric Levine picking up another big victory, his fourth shutout on the year on Friday. And then on Saturday, Jack Barry comes back, makes his 22-23 Rivermen debut, and I thought he played well. What did you think about your goaltending overall and what its status is as of right now as we continue to move through the dog days of winter here?
Well, I'm a little biased, but I've said it last year, and with these two, I feel like we have the best tandem in the league, and every single day they give us a chance to win. They're both pros. They come every single day at practice. They work on their game. They want to get better. They're great teammates. They're not weird. For a goalie, it's always nice, and we're just lucky. We're lucky to have Bear back, and I thought this weekend's another example of it. We went with Levy with a big shutout, played extremely well. We gave up, I'd say, 7 or 8 really good chances, and he did a job. And then Barry came in after traveling from Europe, not putting the pads on for 2 weeks, having a practice and a half because of the change of schedule, jumping in there. And actually, his rebound control, he'd like to have that back a little bit, but he made like 35, 36 saves and did an outstanding job. I thought his angles were great, and I thought he was on top of his crease. So I'm lucky, man. I have 2 great goalies on the team. So as a coach, you go in every game, no matter road, home, you have a chance to win all of them.
Now, you say stats don't lie. I agree with you. Here's a stat for you. In 2023, Quad City has scored a grand total of 3 goals only against the Peoria Rivermen. 2 of them came on Saturday against Jack Barry. Is that more goaltending, defense, a team effort, or maybe just something that Quad City is just going through a bit of a rut right now, do you think?
Yeah, I think they're struggling scoring a little bit. And plus, I think our goaltenders since January 1st have been stellar, just amazing. And then also, I think as a team, as a group, we are starting to understand each other. It takes a while with new players and structure and everything else. And we over the years, we've been a second half type of team all the time. We kind of come together, and we always say in Peoria, there's no dog days. A lot of teams, when you go through January, February, it's dark outside, it's cold. People struggle to get motivated, but I'm lucky we have a great group in here that every single day we come to the rink, we're excited to see each other and get to work. And that's how we build it here in Peoria. And we have a great culture, great people that want to get better. And for that, every single day, like I said, not only goaltending, but as a whole, we understand we have a chance to win every single game if we play the right way.
And that culture, that makes it easier, doesn't it, to stay motivated and stay hungry, especially when you're on a 10-game winning streak, the longest in the league this year.
Yeah, those are the ones we talked about before. We had one of 6 or 7 games earlier in the year, and those are dangerous because, they always say you learn a lot more through the losses, but we're lucky also that we're making some mistakes, but we're winning games through them, so we can still do some teaching. But when you get on long streaks, you have to have the right personnel to make sure you stay motivated, keep going, and not get too high on yourself. And sometimes the bad habits kind of creep in. But no, I'm lucky. We get to work every single day, try to get better, and we understand that even though we have a 10-game winning streak, we're not near where we can be. So there's always things to get better at.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention J.M. Pietrowski. 4 goals in 2 games for it. He has all of a sudden flipped the switch. He is red hot. And he's doing it from a variety of different places, whether it's going right to the front of the net, being at the right place in the right time, or just getting a quick shot off and finding it in the back of the net. When you have a player who's seemingly having the hot stick, how much does that help other players around him?
Well, it does. It's just a confidence thing. You look at him right now, you look at Cahill, you look at Hags, you look at a lot of guys, they want the puck on their stick. And for that, when you want the puck on your stick, it seems like you put a little bit more effort to get open, to support, to move, to find the right spots. And that comes with confidence. When you're not confident, it seems like everything's bouncing on you. You get frustrated instead of using your energy for the right things. And right now he was in a bad place about 3-4 weeks ago, and we talked about it. Just get that first goal, and all of a sudden, when the monkey's off your back, it seems like the shots from the outside start going in, and that's what he did. He got the first 2 were ugly ones in front of net, and after that, he got on a roll, and now it seems like every single game we expect a goal from him. And
I know.
Like we just say he's supposed to. I told him the other day, I said, I'm not even saying congratulations after games anymore because that's what we expect now from you. So, no, he's doing extremely well, and we talked about it before also. I remember last year when Hags was suspended, we missed him a few games and big games in Huntsville and stuff. The guy that always steps up, it seems like Jimmer, he's the guy that steps up. And with Bearsy out, and we lost Barrow also, so a lot of centers were out for a while, and he's the one who stepped up, and he's playing absolutely fantastic right now.
Oh, you got another most recent addition. The big story this week: Jake Hamilton returns to the Peoria Rivermen. I know a lot of folks have been hoping that he was going to be able to come back for the last couple of years. Now he's back. What do you get out of a player like Jake Hamilton? How was his return facilitated, and what's he bring to the lineup?
Well, now he brings 6 Ds, which we didn't have. We were playing 5 Ds or 4 Ds a lot. Last weekend, we were really just 4 Ds, and we added a Wisely or Trap Luck here and there. But he brings now 6 Ds with Barker and himself coming back this week. It's now you can do a lot more with it. You can match. You can do a lot of different things. And then you want pairings to get used to each other. I'm lucky. Like I said, my other Ds are good enough. The old guys like Neville and Dale and Wilkes, and those guys are good enough to play with anybody. But it's always nice to have a constant partner that kind of understand each other, read off each other a lot better. So now we're going to be able to do that. When we play home, we have the last change. So we'll be able to match our defensive Ds against our top line and do different things because it's hard at 5 Ds, but now at 6 Ds is going to be great. And he brings stability, he brings toughness, he brings puck movement. I loved Hammy when he was here, and when he called me the other day and said that he had interest in coming back, I was excited, and he's the same way right now. He's just he's excited to be in Peoria. He loves our fans, and the fans love him. So it's just that love story that went away a little too quick with him kind of moving up, but now he's back, so we're going to have a chance to have Hammy for the rest of the year here.
This Riverman decor is quietly, I think, becoming one of the best in the league. Think about it. You got Zach Wilkie and Nick Neville. Those two are the 2 top goal scorers among defensemen in the league. You also have Dale Dion, who's always responsible with the puck. Cale List, another good, solid defenseman. Now you add Jake Hamilton in there. This is becoming an incredibly dangerous decor. Plus, you consider the goaltending. Guy, this roster's really shaping up into something special, it looks like, on paper. Yeah,
on paper it looks really good, and I think probably our best D over the last month and a half, 2 months has been Barks.
Yeah, and Brian Barker, of course.
Barksy, I mean, he's playing, a little banged up. That's why we gave him the week off. Yeah. And he was still one of our best, and he became a real Riverman. He's going like what he does on the ice is absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, we're lucky. We have the right crew on paper again, but we understand also. I think the great thing is on paper we're really good, but we also have that leadership and that veteran group, the Alex Carrier and even the Jake Hamilton, guys that played for a while now and understand that paper is just not good enough.
Right.
So we have to put in the work, and those guys love to put in the work. Like I have to pull Widmar off the ice every single day because he just wants more reps, more reps, more reps. And a lot of our guys are the same way. So for me as a coach, I feel fortunate that way to have guys that are ready to put in the work also.
That leads into my next question. I was just going to ask, when you're looking at bringing either guys back or new guys in, how much do you look at just the skill-wise, and how much do you look at the leadership or how they'll mesh in the locker room? Because, it's one thing if you're going to replace, say, a skill guy with a character guy, but if you take out a character guy, just replace him with a skill guy, that can seriously affect the locker room. So how much are you looking more at the leadership and the qualities and what they're going to bring to that group in the dressing room?
That's actually a great question. I look at both really intensely, and I actually talked to my leadership group also. We had actually a meeting about it yesterday, and how things are going. But I always say the coaches are in the locker room the first month and a half, 2 months to kind of put the culture in there. Mm-hmm. After that, our leadership group is the one, all those players are the ones that take care of that locker room. So I always say if I bring in a new player and things don't go the right way, it's their fault. And I know that sounds bad, but at the same time, I feel like we're strong enough in that locker room with great people and great leaders that even if one guy changes or is a little selfish at one time, they're mature enough to take him aside and say, that's not the way we do things in Peoria. So I have complete trust in my locker room. I'm so lucky that I don't, the only reason I step in there is for pregame meetings and our video. Everything else is about them, making sure that they shape it the way they want. And they understand what we do here. Hags has been here for a long time, and Jimmer now and all those guys, Nevs, they know how we do things in Peoria, and they won't accept anything different. So whoever new coming in, we accept them for the way they are. And we understand that if they're here for a long time, that's because they're doing the right things on and off the ice.
Speaking of doing the right things, we're going to be trying to do the right things on the road. You've got your last big Southern trip, 1 game in Birmingham, and then 2 Friday, Saturday in Pensacola. Pensacola is the only team active in the SPHL that the Rivermen do not have a winning record against, if you can believe that. When you're going on the road, long time on the road, facing multiple different opponents who are hot right now, Birmingham, Pensacola, very hot, playing extremely well, what becomes the primary factor that you have to key in on in order to just play Rivermen hockey and come away with a positive result?
Art of war, my friend. You take their weaknesses and you try to expose them, and we play the Rivermen way the rest of the time. And we understand also that we're in a position where when you're in first place and you have a 10-game winning streak, we know they're going to come at us. Yeah. And that we know we've been on the road for a while now. It's been a long time since we've been on the road. So we understand all those things, and that's what's great. We communicate about it. We understand. We make a plan. And we buy in. And for us, we don't worry about Pensacola right now. Everything is about playing Birmingham. We have 1 game against them, and we're going to focus on them on the first period, doing the right things. It's a tough building. They're a really, really good hockey team. So for us, everywhere we go, we respect our opponent, and we know how they're going to come after us. And for us, it's just another great challenge. It's a long road trip. The boys are a little tired, a little banged up, but I always say that those stressful environments, I think people take them away too much. I think that's what builds character. Yeah. Win or lose, I know we're going to learn something about ourselves, and I know we're going to build character out of it. So we go there with an open mind, ready to attack Birmingham, and I'm sure they feel the same way. So it's going to be another great challenge for the Rivermen.
Should be an exciting one indeed. The 2 books you're going to be bringing, Wayne Gretzky and Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
The Art of War, my friend.
Guy, thank you so much for your time. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks a lot, Ruffer.
For Jean-Guy Trudel, this has been Jason Ruff and your weekly edition of Trudel's Take, presented by Health Alliance. We'll talk to you next week, Rivermen fans.